Hi, welcome back to Corporate Classy, but Please Come Correct podcast. I am your host, Alberta Thomas, and we are back with another episode, a part two at that. But before we kind of deep dive into that a little bit, I just want to say I have had the best almost 2 weeks on vacation, disconnecting back in the South on the East Coast where I need to be to recharge, from connecting with my friends, from connecting with my family. It was just an amazing time that I can truly say that I enjoyed the most. Where normally if I go on vacation, I just want to go I just want to sleep. I just want to be in the comfort of my family home and just sleep. That's that rest, eat good food, all of the things. But this time I was able to go all over the place from meeting my best friend out in Vegas to traveling home to be with my family, then doing a pop up visit with my dad, and then coming back home and being able to still spend more time with my dad and not with my family. And not only that, y'all, my sister and I actually went and got some matching tattoos. We've been talking about it for months. When I say probably the last year or so, like what are we gonna get? What we gonna do? And so we finally did it. And I have it posted on social media. It's so stinking cute. And I'm so happy. And like when I'm able to just look down at my arm, I'm able to feel a connection just through some ink, because we were able to spend that moment together and do something together. So when it gets rough, all I got to do is look down, and I know my heartbeat and my connection with my sister is going to continue to keep me going. So I just adore her, and I adore both of us making that sacrifice to do something together for each other because we are actually really close, but we're so far away. So my vacation was amazing. I am enjoying the last couple of days back in Oregon. The sun is shining bright outside. I am currently being lazy. Okay, don't judge me. But in this moment of me being lazy, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and record that episode that I know people are waiting to hear the other side about. So, just to reflect a little bit on the last episode, I talk heavily about, living life and moving life on my own terms, right? No kids, no husband, all of those things, and choosing to do things a little bit different outside of the norm of what is to be expected. And, I chose to put my career first. I chose to go after things and to understand what it is that I wanted in life and build upon that. And so, if you haven't listened to the last episode, I highly encourage you to do so. But on this episode, I want to pivot it from giving you all the goodness to giving you the tough side, right? The other side of that freedom. I think this is one of the areas, just speaking as women, that we don't talk about as much because, we want to operate in this facade of making sure that we indicate that we're strong, we can get it done, we can do this, we can do that, and we got this, which, yeah, all of those things are true. But there is a side of us where if we chose our career, if we chose to take a different route, that it looks a little bit different. And we also have the doubts, we have fears, we have the weight of a lot of things. And I've broken it down into five components that I want to be able to share and navigate with you and making sure we really have some deep conversations, right? So, like I stated last week, I shared a lot of the beautiful things of choosing your own timeline, the wins, the peace, the freedom. But now we're going to talk about what it really costs to live like this. And I'm going to be open, I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to give you the realness of it, and I'm going to be vulnerable and all of those things. So, I would tell you five components. I've broken it down, and I'm going to share with you the five things that as I started doing this thing, I'm 33, I'll be 34 in 2 months. Yay. I've been on this journey for myself since I was 22. right? So 22 years old to now 33, and me doing things a little bit different outside of the norm, right? So that first part, the weight of independency, when you see someone, like me now, 33, no kids, no husband, immediately I'll tell you, even before I got with my man now, people that I dated was like, wait, you don't have any kids? Wait, I'm confused. Like, you're over 30, you don't have any kids, you don't have any baby daddies. Like men would really come to me because and question and probably give red flags about me because I don't have that. And so I didn't have to explain the reasoning of, yeah, no, nothing is definitely not wrong with me. I just choose not to have a baby daddy. I choose to make sure I am stable, financially stable, that I mentally am on that capacity where I can have kids. I do want to have a husband and I want to be married and I want to start my family, right? And things of that nature. So when I have to really explain that in a dating scene, psychologically in my mind, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, you should be happy that you don't have to take on these burdens of me or on any of my baggages if I had it, right? So instead of men coming off to me and saying, like, oh my God, you're the prize, or oh my God, I love the fact that you chose to do this, they're questioning, well, why you don't have this? Is something wrong and things of that nature. So the weight of being very much independent, you are responsible financially, emotionally, and mentally for everything, including yourself. Like, there is power in being able to have that, but it's also the pressure of balancing all of those things out. Interesting enough, I was just having that conversation with my partner the other day, and I'm like, my God, it's tax season. You got to file your taxes. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have no dependents. Oh my God, they're just going to tear me up. All of these things, it's the pressure of choosing not to have kids or not having all of these things and feel like you are still being tied down and you're just so responsible for all of those things by yourself. Again, am I complaining? Absolutely not. But being able to identify those things when you do have a lifestyle like this, sometimes you just want to be free. Sometimes you don't want to have to worry about paying all the bills. Sometimes you emotionally don't want to worry about making sure you all put together. Like, you want to be able to be a wreck, be a mess, and allow somebody else to give you that love or to step in and things of that nature. So the way of being independent is one of those conversations that we don't talk about as women. So that's that first part. The second part is the loneliness and miss moments. I can tell you there were moments in my life where I felt like, dang, I want a partner. I want to wake up and have little babies running around. Or where is my deeper community? And even though those moments of quietness, loneliness, how are you going to work through it? And so there were moments of loneliness when you don't have those things. And I'm really big on sitting in it, and if I'm lonely, I'm lonely for the moment. I know it's not going to always be there, but I'm also leveraging the moment of loneliness where, okay, I'm lonely right now, but what do I want that to look like? What do I want my partner to look like when he walks through the door? What is that energy that I would love for him to do? How do I want to raise my babies? How do I want to build my deeper community and things of that nature? What does that look like? And so, in those moments of loneliness, you get an opportunity to think about what you want those things to look like. You're able to identify what type of energy you want around you. What's that energy that you want to have when you wake up next to every single day? I'm very much aware, but I can't sit in that funk because then it messes with my mental stability. So I look at it that way. But again, loneliness is one of those things that we don't talk about often. The third part, that third piece that I want to make sure we talk about is the relationships, whether it's with your friends or dating. Because sometimes when you do have friends and the way that you're choosing to shift your life and look at things a little bit differently, sometimes your friends can't relate to that. Sometimes your friend don't understand why you're on a certain path. And that's okay. Hopefully you got friends who understand like, hey, my path is not going to look like your path, but whatever journey you're on, as long as you're safe, as long as you're happy, I am on that path with you. Or you may have friends where in that moment, in that season, you may have to cut some ties. And that is completely fine. And so being able to identify where you're going and who needs to go with you and who you just need to depart, not on bad terms, but hey, maybe this friendship has ran its course. Maybe this is no longer good for you and I. We're operating on two different levels that are not meeting and not meeting each other half the way. Yes, we can try, but we also know at the same time if we're in two different mindsets and we're not open to different paths, then it's not going to work. So don't dwell on those things. Just depart and be okay departing. And that was something that I did learn through this process where I did have to depart from friendships because two different paths and love friends from the path to death and wish them nothing but the best. But we got to keep going forward, right? And so, on the flip side, when we talk about dating, dating becomes more complex, right? Because you're not just looking for love, you're looking for alignment, you're looking for emotional maturity. And it goes kind of hand in hand back to independency. When we talk about, all right, you're financially stable, emotionally, you do fairly well, and mentally, you're in a good space and you're opening yourself up to see, all right, what else is out there that can add some additional value to my life? And what are you going to bring to the table knowing that I do have these things in order? So let me tell you another piece when we talk about relationship and pretty much having yourself all together. I'm gonna give you two folds. When I was on the moments of dating, and I'm not the one that moves with, oh, I don't need a man. Gotta have a man. I don't need nothing from you. I'm not that person. I'm never gonna say I do not need a man, because I do need a man and I want a man. Let's be clear, but it's a graceful way that you have to be able to showcase that when you have been very much independent and on your own for a while and you really don't need much. And so just as we as women, we want people to recognize who we are, our emotions, what it is that we want. Men are the same way, and we got to open up that door for them to allow them in and pretty much see what can they bring to the table. What additionally can you add? Where can you add value in my life? And is this something that I want to do? So at this point, let me give you guys an example. When I was dating, and I talked to men and just normal conversations, right? Regular conversations, just talking. Some men would be very much intimidated by me based upon my persona, by the way that I walk in, by the way that I talk. And based upon questions that they ask, I'm not going to shy away or sugarcoat anything. If you're going to ask me, what is it that I need from a man? I'm going to tell you, I'm looking for someone to add some additional value to my life. How can you be my person? What can you bring to the table? What can you offer up? What are we doing? What value can you add being that you know all of these things about me? And so some men are intimidated and feel like I don't need them. And it's not that I'm saying that I don't need you. They already put that image in their mind, and based upon what they see on social media, that, oh, she got her stuff together, she don't need me, she just want a fun time. No, that's not the case. I want a man, but I am going to challenge you to step up to the plate. I'm not going to settle for anything. And so I do tend to set the bar pretty high when we talk about things that I am looking for and things that I want to be added into my life, right? And so I would tell you the first guy who is my man right now, sending him all the love. He was the first guy that was okay, that was okay with me having my stuff together and not feeling intimidated. He was the only guy who was able to add value to my life and who was able to teach me things that I did not know and who challenged me at a higher level to think differently, to go beyond surface level and to deepen and widen my capacity circle and challenge me to be a better person. And for me, that's what I need. Like, how can you add some additional value to my life? So yeah, it can get a little bit tricky at the same time, and I've been ghost because I'm too much to handle, and they're good on me because they don't feel I need them. And again, it's not that I'm coming off like I don't need you. I'm coming off because I want to see how you can add some additional value to my life, right? You can't come to me and just say, I'm able to pay your phone bill or I can put gas in your car. Like, I need more than that. Like, I wanna know more than that. Like, I need to deepen what you can bring to the table. And so for me, I am okay walking away. I'm okay if you ghost me. Like, it is what it is. And so those are things that I can remember that I went through in a dating scene and also when it came to friendships, and which I am completely fine with too. So the fourth part of it, because remember, I told you guys there are five components of how I narrowed down in my mind what really took place throughout this transition and throughout me choosing a different path. So, feeling misunderstood. People assume that I'm bitter. People assume that I'm picky, that I'm not open to love. When really I'm being very intentional and moving with peace and wanting something that's real. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not being a burning of being labeled strong. I just want something that's going to be good for me. I want someone or relationships or friendships that's going to be good for me. And just to give you some thoughts, again, so me being labeled as strong, independent black woman, that's normally what I'm labeled as. But because I chosen to be very intentional with my time and with who I allow in my space, I have some amazing people around me. When I tell you support me like no other, they challenge me when things don't make sense. They want me to be better. Like I have some good people who actually show up because there one thing that you tell me I'm here for you, but I have good, solid people that show up for me. I can feel it. And that's why I'm intentional. And that's why I'm okay being called strong and independent or being labeled as a bitter person because I have some strong freaking relationship where people show up for me. My family show up for me. My friends circle show up for me in action, not just words. And so those are the beautiful things that again, feeling misunderstood is one thing, but being able to identify, like, okay, I misunderstood, but let me tell you what has formed from me being intentional with my time. And that last piece, self doubt and emotional walls. Ooh, I need to drink some water for this one. So there has been moments where I have questioned some of the choices that I made, and I also navigate through that. So when you are again on a path like this one, you have the flexibility to mess up, make bad decisions, make good ones, do whatever it is that you want to do, right? In so many words. So I was able to fail. And then if I did do something again, knowing it wasn't good for me, At that point, that was a choice that I chose to make, knowing it was probably going to route back to the same thing, which again, back to probably wasn't good for me. So I've been through those times. I've been through making tough decisions. I've been through maybe putting too much energy in something or someone. I've been blindsided. I've been lost. I've been head over heels. I've been all the things you can think about. I've been wild. I've been calm. I've been on so many different paths and journeys, which again, learning life experiences. And I would not change anything that I've done in my past or any connections that I have made. I would not change them because they added value to my life from me learning, from me adoring the time and the memories that I have, and from all the love that I've gotten from, the choices that I choose to make. And so, but sometimes it gets hard when you're trying to navigate through that. And it's like, okay, you're tired of doing this. Like, I just want to settle down. I just want the right person. I just want this. Again, you get in your head sometimes. You overthink, self-doubt, and you also create walls. And so for me, I do create walls. I am very much guarded because I've worked so hard to be where I am from an emotional standpoint, from a mental standpoint, and financially. I worked my booty off. And if for some reason I feel like that is being tampered with, is not being cared for, or I feel like you're playing and praying when I've done all of this healing and all of these great things, like I got my guard up, I got my wall up. But by doing that, you can actually lose valuable things and lose some valuable people in your life because you're so guarded and you prefer to be in solitude instead of opening it up and allowing someone in to add some goodness to your life, whether it's words, whether it's going out on a date, whether it's love, whether it's hugs. And because I am navigating through when do I need to be guarded and when do I need to let it down a bit, now I'm in a space where it's so crazy that I'm even talking about these things because when we talk about your partner, right? Now I'm in a space where he can look at me in my eyes and see something is wrong. He can hear it in my voice when something is wrong. He understands when I say, "Hey, I have zero energy to give today," or "Baby, come here, I just need a hug." Or I may look at him and just cry. And he in these moments he's learning like, okay, I can't give her what she needs, but I can be there to give her what she needs, which is when she get in moments like this, I know she need a hug. I know she needs to smell my neck or something like that. So it's like little things like that that I appreciate because again, I'm a Cancer, y'all, already emotional. Okay, don't talk about me. Already emotional. I think worst case scenario, I have a plan B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, and those plans will drive you up a wall. And I love love and I love really hard. And when it's not being cared for, you're not showing it in action, that's when that wall kind of goes up. So again, it's that constant reminder where I have to allow people in and not stay in solitude and not self doubt people or myself sometime. And so give yourself credit. Give people that's around you the credit. They're there, they're in your corner because they want to be in your corner. And so things like that. And so those are the five components, right? So let's recap them a little bit. I talked about the weight of being independent. I talked about loneliness and missed moments. I talked about the relationships and friendships and how that probably can change through the process. Feeling misunderstood and having self doubt and emotional walls built up. And so those are the things, those are the hard things that you don't hear people really talk about. I wanted to give you the hard things that throughout this path and this journey that I went through, but also what was the learning moments in it, and where were the reflections, the moments where I'm able to reflect on the goodness and look at it a different way. So if I'm feeling lonely, okay. So when I do get the opportunity to have a partner, what do I want that to look like? Or if I do get the opportunity to build on a business or and to add partnerships around me, what do I want that partnership to look like? So different things like that to kind of think about. And so I want to leave you with two quotes. One of my favorite quotes that I am always thinking about, and I replay this quote in my mind all the time, and is actually mine. Choosing yourself doesn't come without cost, but peace, freedom, and alignment are worthy of every sacrifice. Okay? I'm going to repeat that one more time. Choosing yourself doesn't come without cost, but peace, freedom, and alignment are worth every sacrifice. And as you guys know, manifesting your purpose, Black on business, I pull a card a day. I'm telling you, I probably should be pulling a card a week, but I pull one every single day. And again, I used to thought I was that person that don't need this stuff, but again, I'm big on manifesting, and what you speak to yourself and what you speak around yourself is how your life is going to be, how that moment is going to be. And so I'm always saying nothing but good freaking things to myself. Like y'all have no idea. So the card that I pulled this morning was: choosing not to settle is an act of self care that I am committed to. Let me repeat that. Choosing not to settle is an act of self care that I am committed to. That's big. So, hopefully, you guys were able to get something out of this conversation as I am navigating through it with you. Again, I create this space for openness, vulnerability, realness, rawness, and being able to be real and authentic with myself and give that to you guys. And if you know someone who can benefit from something like this, definitely share. Don't forget, I'm on every single platform you can think of except Twitter. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see me there, Bravo CC, or you can find me at Corporate Classy Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, the same tags. My name is Alberta Thomas. Again, you can find Corporate Classy Podcast there. If you need to listen to me, I'm on every freaking platform for podcasts you can ever think about. Okay. I'm everywhere. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, you name it, I'm there. You're gonna find me. So please continue to share, continue to support. So I have been on this podcast journey now since 2023, September of 2023. Since 2023 till yesterday, I have had a total of 648 plays, okay, between all of the networks. 648 plays. I have about 70 followers, which is absolutely amazing. I'll give you guys three of my top most listened to episodes, which are Living Life Beyond Comfort Zone. Are you ready? So, me introducing my platform, getting to know the real you. Matter of fact, I'll make it the top five. The next, and Dear Alberta. Those are my top five most listened to episodes. So definitely make sure you tune in. And again, I make my platform real simple, easy. I get to the point. I don't like fluff. I like to get to the nitty gritty and be done. And so that's the beautiful thing. So let's talk about the audience, right? 83% females listen to my platform. Yes, lady, it's definitely for you. about 35% are males. So shout out to my males that's listening and supporting and probably share it with your wife, your girlfriend, your sisters, your mama, your aunts, your grandmothers. Share it with whomever. And so the age range. So between 35 to 44 years old, about 45% of people are listening in to my episode. 26% range between the ages of 45 to 59. And 28 to 34% is about 19% that listen. And I'm just excited for the growth, and I'm excited for anyone that share my platform. It's growing. I am growing along the way too. And again, what I am currently working on is changing it up a bit from just audio and going live and then giving you that realness where you can actually see the passion. I know you hear the passion, but being able to see my face, that's been one of those things where people like, when are you going live? And I'm like, the pressure. Didn't I just talk about pressure? The pressure. So I'm working on that. I've had a lot of people that have been coming to me wanting to be on my platform. I am going through that. Again, I want to make sure anyone that I bring onto my platform are in full alignment of what I'm trying to do here, and it has to make sense. And so I'm working through all of that. So I'm excited to see my platform continue to grow. Consistency and making sure I am uniform is what I'm working my best at. Again, when you work a 9 to 5, you got life is life and things of that nature, I keep it real. Like if I'm tired, I cannot get on here and sound like I'm tired. I got to be able to give you guys some type of energy. Now, sometimes I've came on here when I sound sad as hell, but you getting that rawness of me. And so I'm just excited for the journey. I'm excited for my platform and I'm excited for the things that I have coming up. And it's going to be great. So, again, thank you for tuning in and listening to me talk about the outside things on the other side of freedom that don't get talked about often. But until next time, thanks for listening. Peace.